everyone, Helen here. How are you today? I am feeling nice and cosy while the weather is doing its worst outside. I hope you're cosy too, and I do hope you haven't been affected by any adverse weather that we've been having. I had rather a nice weekend despite the weather, and I did my piano teaching on Saturday morning. And I did a little bit of Christmas shopping at a local farm shop, so it was good to get that done. And we had a very nice lunch out. We took Phil's mum out for lunch to one of her favourite places that she likes to go. It's called Quebec Tea Room, and it's really nice in there, and they do good food. So we had a nice time doing that. And the rest of the time I was at home and crocheting and doing vlogmasy things, and not much else really, but never mind. And I've got this coming week is my last week of term for piano lessons, so that's really good. So I teach on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoons, just at sort of after school time mostly, or on a Tuesday I have a couple of adults who come on a Tuesday morning. But yes, just 1 week to go and lots more to look forward to after that. So I'll do a quick update of what I've been making. And firstly, day 8 I'm up to, finished day 8 of the Instagram little bichon crochet along, mystery crochet along, because I still don't know what this animal is. So I've done the hind legs now. Can see little hind legs sticking out. Does that make it any clearer what it is? Still looks to me like it could be a kangaroo or a squirrel or a fox maybe. There's a few ideas, but I really don't know. So I wonder whether today there'll be the pattern for the tail, maybe? Could be. Looking forward to finding out and then showing you tomorrow. So anyway, there is that lovely little animal. You sit down there. And I have fixed together 9 of the squares for the Knoll 9-patch blanket. So that it's a crochet join as you go crocheting. You crochet them together. And I've got 3 more panels like this to do, 4 more of another set of squares, and then a centre one, and then lots more borders and things to join them all up. So yeah, anyway, I'm glad to have got that first one done, so that's good. And then finally, something finished, hurrah! It's the camper van with the Christmas tree on top, and I'm pretty pleased with how this has worked out. It was a little bit tricky adding the details to the camper van, and I do realise I have sewn the wheels on a bit too high, so that means that the bumper at the front here touches the, it would scrape the road if it was going along, if it was a real camper van. However, it's not going to do that. It's going to sit amongst my decorations. And yeah, the big problem, which I told you last time I showed you this, was the tree. I had done the central part of the tree, and I mean, I can't say too much obviously because it was a pattern that I paid for, but you had to do a central part of the tree and then do the branches, I suppose they are, after that. And I did the first couple of rounds of the branches and that was okay, and then when it got to the third round I just didn't understand what it was asking me to do. I didn't know why. It seemed like there was something missed out in the instructions. So I was sort of puzzled over it for a while, and then I took it all out, and and then I decided, because I knew that my lovely friend Jeanette from Crafty Claire Creations was making the same one, I got in touch with her, and together we decided that we were just going to have to fudge it, because Jeanette didn't find it any clearer than me. She thought it wasn't really very well explained, and she's very experienced in making this kind of thing. So we have both come to the conclusion it was just a moment when you just have to fudge things. And that's what I did. I stopped following what it said in the pattern and just carried on attempting to make branches, and it looks fine, doesn't it? I mean, you know, nobody's going to examine that closely and think, oh, that doesn't match the pattern. So I think the hardest thing for me really though was just adding these details. You had to go around in black. It's quite hard to line up the black with the white bits and things. But anyway, I'm fine, it's okay. I'm quite pleased with that. That's going to look lovely sat on top of the piano behind me amongst the Christmas trees there. So, and when we do go away in the camper van, so there is a little camper van trip coming up soon during Vlogmas actually, then this is going to come with us in the camper van. So I'm looking forward to that as well, and telling you a bit more about that nearer the time. So there we go, little camper van. And so what I'm finishing with today is another reading from one of my vintage books. Can't remember which year it is. I think it's the 1901 one. And it's all about Christmas decorations, and a very interesting description of how some of the evergreen got to London in 1901, or whenever this was. I think it was 1901. Hopefully it's not politically incorrect, the term that they're using. I was sort of in half a mind as to say, is anybody going to be offended by this? I hope not. We just have to know that it's from history, and you know, and things are different now. And yeah, all sorts of tips on doing your Christmas decorations. So listen carefully, and and until I see you tomorrow, take good care of yourself. And yeah, I'll be back very, very soon. Okay then, bye. Today I'm reading from the Girls' Realm Annual, 1901. Christmas Decorations. Christmas comes, and with it comes the grace of its greenery in our churches and our houses, in every place where our sick and poor are tended. Set in midwinter, the world grows green at the coming of Christmas, the world of home, I mean, for are not our churches, our firesides, our hospitals, and all places dedicated to the cheering and sweetening of the lives of the suffering, variations on the word home? The grace of Christmas greenery is a link uniting us to the nebulous past. Long before the dawn of Christmas brightened the world's sky, the portals of houses and temples were wreathed with holly and mistletoe in the short winter days, because of the reputed potent virtue of these sacred plants to keep off evil spirits. Some sinister associations cluster round the mistletoe, but the legends that linger round the holly are all genial fables. The ancients held that a house sheltered by its sturdy boughs, aglow with scarlet berries and thick with glossy prickly leaves, was safe from all evil enchantments, and could defy the worst that demons or sorcerers could devise. The Romans, in their Saturnalias and high feasts, sent boughs of holly to each other in token of amity and good wishes. It was ever the friendly tree, and it became the holy tree. About a week before Christmas, great crates begin to arrive at Covent Garden Market, filled with mistletoe from France. Some loads of the pearl-berried parasite are gathered from the orchards of Kent, but by far the larger part reach us from apple-growing Normandy and other French provinces. The holly is English, pure English, grown especially in Kent and Middlesex. It is sent up to London in immense waggon loads and reaches Covent Garden and other markets in the early morning, long before sunrise. The Gippo, or gypsy, is a familiar and most important figure in the holly business. He is easily recognisable. Tall, swarthy, with the dark, luminous eyes of the Indian, he has also the wakeful expression of the Cockney dealer. Sharp and shrewd, he is most expert and energetic in finding out where good holly is to be had. long before Christmas comes, he has set out on his voyage of discovery. Hardy, daunted by nothing, he goes on foot across country, eager on his search. He often sleeps under hedges at night, and is up betimes in the morning, bent upon his quest. Often a Romany friend puts him on the track of where more of the coveted bush is to be found, and where a farmer has a good bit of it to sell. Jippo bargains for it, bespeaks it, and in due time arrives to claim his load. He has usually a one-horsed cart or wagon of his own. In that the holly is placed, and Jippo, starting shortly after dark, proceeds towards London at an easy pace. If the load is very heavy, he hires a second horse and places it in tandem fashion in front of his own. Generally, Jippo enters London by the Old Kent Road and proceeds towards Covent Garden Market, which he reaches between 1 and 2 in the morning. He secures a stand in the large open part of the market, and when it opens at 4, his voice may be heard lustily crying, "Holly buyers, ho! Holly buyers!" He is a past master in the art of selling, alert, insinuating, and as he has a reputation for having good holly, he generally soon disposes of his stock at an excellent profit. Often he will get 30 shillings or more for a bunch as large as a bush. Jippo does not deal in mistletoe. The holly and mistletoe, yew, ivy, laurel and box, Christmas roses, chrysanthemums, lilies, and some other flowers form the gracious greenery and floral garniture of Christmas. These are the materials out of which you have to fashion the garlands, crowns, chaplets, and emblems with which to decorate your churches and homes. I asked an artist in decoration to give me some rules that may guide you in your task, and this is the sum of her advice. Always work with a manifest intention in the arrangement of your lines and in your scheme of colour. Do not begin until you have distinctly before you the scheme of the effect you wish to produce. Let there be no hesitation after you have started as to the harmony you are striving for in colour, in the balance of intervals, and in the symmetry of line. Simplicity and breadth of effect should be sought for in the adorning of large spaces. There is often a tendency to skimpiness of effect in floral decorations at Christmas. This is owing to the great expense of flowers in midwinter. But the lack of natural flowers can be supplemented by the use of imitation flowers. Chrysanthemums, Christmas roses, arum lilies can be excellently imitated in paper. If you can have the bunches of natural blooms, so much the better. If not, you can disguise the artificial flowers by introducing a few real ones in front. Above the level of the eye, it will be difficult to distinguish between the real blooms and the mass of white or scarlet imitation. In the March number of the Girls' Realm, you will find very clear directions how to make flowers in crepe paper.